Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm checking out the reformulated YSL All Hours. This is the Luminous Matte Foundation. Retails for $56 for 0.85 ounces or 25 milliliters. That is about $66 per ounce if you are comparing prices at an ounce per ounce basis. Comes in 40 different shades. I got this in Light Neutral 3. Note that they did change the shade names from the previous All Hours foundation, so you will have to do a little bit of guesswork in terms of figuring out your shade if you had the previous one. This also has SPF 30, and it is a combination chemical and mineral sunscreen. It's octinoxate and titanium dioxide. Also has hyaluronic acid. This is described as a breathable liquid foundation, delivering up to 24 hours full coverage with a weightless feel and a luminous matte finish for a flawless looking complexion. It does have fragrance. It is the very last ingredient in the ingredient list. I'm a huge fan of the original All Hours, so let's take a look at shade LN3 swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from YSL, the All Hours Luminous Matte Foundation in shade LN3. Second, I've got the original YSL All Hours in shade BR10. Third up is Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. And last, I've got from MAC the Studio Sculpt in NW15. I have already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 48-year-old face. I have primed with the Calibre So Boulogne Primer. Let's take a look at our beautiful, I'm so glad they kept the beautiful bottle. Cap is a little bit different. We got the YSL wrapping around the sides. Let's check this out here. Woo! All right, I'm going to go in on one side of my face with a sponge. The other side, I will use my Sigma F80. There's my sponge. Couldn't find it for a second there. I debated choosing a cool undertone shade because I tend to prefer cool undertone in the winter, but I went with neutral. Neutral is my kind of year-round choice. This has less scent than I noticed in the original formula, so that's good. I wish there was no fragrance in it at all. Oh, hello coverage. Hello coverage. I'm so glad to see you. Oh, look at it. Look at it. Oh, this is why I love this stuff. This is why I love All Hours. The original All Hours definitely is one of my go-tos if I know I'm going to be in a situation where I need it to hold up, going to a wedding, an all-day event kind of a thing. And my expectation is that this will be the same. Oh, that just blended out so easily. Even with a sponge. Sometimes I don't like matte foundations with a sponge, but I think we are in pretty good shape. Let's try the other side. And I'm definitely not going to use all of the product I pumped out there. I pumped out enough to see it, but I think I pumped too much out, so I'll have a lot left over, I believe. So I'll show you at the end. I'll show you how much I ended up using. This blends out so nicely, and I am not in the condition of having really good skin right now, in the sense of I have some flaking going on. I've got some peeling going on. So I am throwing a fairly challenging face at this foundation right now. I think there is slightly more coverage with the brush, as tends to be the case, but it looks beautifully smooth. Wow, like it's really smooth. It is really looking smooth. All right, here's what I have left. Let's just try and even out coverage, get my sunspots, get my blue blood vessel, get the redness on my chin a little better, and I'm just going to try and even out even it out just a little bit for the brush versus sponge situation here. This is building just fine. There's no evidence of, you know, layers. Sometimes when you build up a foundation, you can kind of see where you've got more product versus less products. That does not appear to be happening here as I look in the 10x mirror. I'm going to take what I have left, which is this much, and cover some of my discoloration on my neck, which I don't know if it's hormonal or if it's sun damage that just decided to pop up. The configuration of it makes me think it's sun damage because it's right where, like, the way my fat falls, it's where my chin skin would get more sun exposure. But it could be hormonal as well. Who knows what? That coverage is beautiful. Oh my goodness gracious. Looking at my mirror here. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Yes, I'm itching my nose with my makeup brush. The joy of having 4 cats in your house is that you always feel like you have cat hair everywhere. And you probably do. Let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. You know I love me some coverage. This is looking very nice. I would say it is very smoothing on my texture. It is even smoothing on my pores. You know, everything's looking nice and minimized, which I love. Total awesome coverage. One coat, even, I can barely even see where I added the second layer. I can barely see my sunspots here. So it is a solid full coverage, I would say. It's not settling into lines. It's not clinging to my dry patches. I have a dry patch above my eyebrow, and I've got dry patches above my upper lip. And, you know, it's in the 10X, I can barely see those patches. So that to me says it's not accentuating them. It's not really clinging to them. It's not making them look any more dry or worse than they are. And this coverage is bomb diggity. Now, what I don't understand is that the name Luminous Matte, those two things feel like opposites to me. I can't rectify, or I can't combine them. I don't know what that means. And I'm looking in the mirror. What is Luminous Matte? I don't know. Luminous to me is reflect, and reflect to me is dewy, and matte is not dewy. So I don't know what that means. Maybe luminous is just intended to mean like bright. I don't know, but this does not look flat, does not look dry. That's mattes on me when they go poorly look flat and lifeless. And I do think this maintains the dimension. You know, I am in front of studio lighting, but you know, the highlight areas of my face are still giving that dimension even with this level of coverage. So I think that's lovely. Let's check the time. It is 12:53 p.m. I gotta hurry up because I gotta leave for work in 15 plus 7 minutes. Let me put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with the new All Hours foundation. Yes, yes, yes. Bravo, bravo, bravo. Very excited. Loving it so far. I did tap out a little bit of settling in my forehead lines. Tapped it out. It has not come back. I think everything has set down well. I don't use setting spray for reviews unless it's a hot mess disaster. And then I tell you that I used setting spray. So no setting spray. We will see how this holds up. I think it looks awesome to start out. On my face, the usual suspects. I do have my Flower Beauty, my Broken, just lives on my vanity, just like this. Heat Wave bronzer. I have been loving. Thank you guys for telling me I needed to get it. The Natasha Denona My Dream Cheek Trio is happening here. It has also gotten me back in the habit of using highlight. I'm using the By Terry Concealer, the Terribly Denseless Concealer. My eyes are the Natasha Denona, what is this called? Retro Glam palettes. And my lip is, dug this one out of the archives and I've been loving it lately. I've been doing the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, fill in my whole lips, topped with the Color Street Tinted Lip Balm. This is pH tinted. It's pH so that it reacts to the pH in your skin to give you the perfect tint for you. And I love it over this lip liner. That is what we got going on my mug. I will link everything down below. I gotta run to work. I will come back in a bit with a daylight check-in. Then I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, daylight check-in here. It's been about 2.5 hours. But by the time I get out of class, there will be no daylight left. So here is where we're at. Everything still looks good. I think the shade match is good. I can tell it's neutral undertone instead of cool undertone. But I'm technically neutral. I just prefer leaning slightly cool in the wintertime. But this one will do just fine, I think. I'm trying to figure out if the light will hit me any differently any other angle here. Probably not. So there you go. We're in good shape so far. I'll be back tonight to wrap this one up. 9:42 p.m. That puts us right around the 9-hour mark. Let's take a look at how the reformulated YSL All Hours held up. It held up splendidly. Am I surprised? Not at all. Sometimes reformulations can be a train wreck, and sometimes they just do better or as good as the original. I was wondering if the original had SPF, and I don't think it did. No, it was SPF 20. I'm looking at it, and it was octinoxate. Octinoxate, yes, that's the word. This one's a combo. I don't know, just random musings as I was thinking. In the swatches, I did compare these two, and I do think the new shade is the neutral undertone. The old shade I had was the slightly more cool undertone, but they're in the same ballpark. But let's talk about how this wore. Very comfortably, stayed put. I did blow my nose several times today, and the wear away was not bad. It is sort of wearing away a little bit on my chin and my upper lip where I've got my flaking going on, but for the most part, my face looks the same as it did when I finished my makeup 9 hours ago. It has held up wonderfully well. I actually think Charlie the kitten was attempting to lick my nose. I did try to stop her, but can't really tell. So all is well on that front. Let's zoom in and get a good look at this one. Like I said, I think my chin has a little bit of wear on it, and the areas of my upper lip where my flaking skin has a little bit of wear going on, but pretty much everything else is still intact and in place where it was. Blush, bronzer, highlight, still the way they were. Nothing is caking up between my eyebrows. Nothing has settled into lines. My pores are still looking blurred. My texture is still looking blurred. Nothing looks dry. The finish looks great. I think it's lovely. It is just lovely. Matte foundations are a hard sell for dry and dehydrated skin, and I think the All Hours is one that just happens to do really well, and I love it. So, very glad to report that nothing bad has happened in the reformulation. Everything went well. Everything's lovely. In fact, I think I might like it a little bit better. I think it might be just a little bit more. Is this what they mean by luminous matte? Like, it just has a little more life to it, like a little more zhuzh to it. Here we are. If I had to give a grade to the YSL All Hours, what do they call it? Let me make sure I got the word right. Luminous Matte Foundation. It's an A. Of course it's an A. What did you think I was going to give it anything else? I loved it from... You had me at hello. You had me at hello. It's an A. Let's go A. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. If you like foundation reviews, if you had fun with this one, give me a thumbs up down below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Drop me a comment. What would you like me to see? I keep a running list of all kinds of products. I buy them whenever I can, usually when there's a sale. You know how that goes. And I get my grubby paws on them as possible. Let me know what you want to see. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.